That's astonishing. Welcome to Daily Happier. Today is my birthday. It's actually not. It's a week past my birthday, and I've been quite cumbersome, stubbornly myself. I just needed to be the flow. I didn't want to push things. I wanted to have them unfold more naturally. So I'm outside having my bare feet out, very happy that the sound is possibly nice today. I have no idea how it's going to sound, but you know what? That's what we do in the Daily Happier. We are going raw, authentic, honest version of ourselves the best we can. We dive deep and we have more fun doing it. So, episode by episode. Today, the whole structure goes with definitions. Maybe I will take a breath before I say anything else. I'm thinking that my birthday, 23rd, last week. I'm getting older and older. That's obvious. I'm very happy how the time is passing. At the same time, it might be scary, especially knowing that if you don't put the work in, I will talk about myself today. Yeah. It's a bit chaotic in the moment. I'm gonna call things the way they are. There's my water bottle with all the summer camp, my vibey, my value-y stickers. There's my journal that I have some questions written down from a couple of weeks ago. There is a piece of gum on my journal, and that's very irresponsible. Why would I have a piece of gum on my journal? So unnecessary. But I'm gonna show you in the video. There is one sticker called It's the Simple Things, and the other sticker says Happy Camper. I'll have my laptop up here with even more stickers. I will tell you because I have a really special sticker up here, and only some of my friends know what kind of sticker is behind this. But up here, it's very mellowy, positive vibes, and very cozy. So that's it. On my laptop, there is nothing prepped yet. I have an episode of the 4th season, second episode of The Office. I was just indulging myself in watching some of it. And the last week after my birthday, I don't know when the time has passed, but I've been doing my workouts, strength training. I'm getting into calisthenics again. I got some running workouts in. And today, after recording this, I'm going for my 30K long run. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, 1 p.m. And those are the facts for today. And even though I'm excited, I'm still a bit anxious. I don't know what the future is going to hold, so obviously I'm going to feel anxious about recording this episode. But at the same time, there's nothing to hide, there's nothing to pretend, there's nothing to make it sound differently than my heart tells me to. Because what's getting out there in this podcast is going to be precisely the way I can vocalize it at the moment. It's not that I have a certain manner with my words, with expression. My surface lexicon might be a bit on different spectrum of the wealth that I mean it to be at times. But at the moment, I'm working on my honesty. And honestly, I haven't been true to myself for a long time. I've been trying to become someone else. I've been trying to become all those gurus from the internet that I've been watching for a long time. Let's say Jordan Peterson or Andrew Huberman, even Chris Williamson from Modern Wisdom. But right now, when I'm 23, I keep reminding myself that it doesn't matter how many episodes, how many videos I'm gonna watch, how many hundreds of books I'm gonna read. At the end of the day, this is me that goes to the bed. This is me who has all those thoughts inside my head. And this is me who's gonna sit down in meditation, thinking, and quietly taking the deep breath through my nose and exhaling through my mouth. or sometimes exhaling from my nose also, because my nervous system might need that at the day. And there's no article, there's no video, there's no book or paragraph that's going to lead me throughout the way, throughout the bridge that's not built yet. It's becoming. And I might get advice from here and here and here and here, but this is going to only lead me in the way that they live their lives, or the way they know it. But maybe I'm gonna rephrase it back. At the moment, I'm not looking for more answers. And even though it feels extremely uncomfortable, it feels that even though I don't feel, I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that. It's so funny. I wanted to say that I don't feel complete now, yet. But I do. I feel that I am myself to the extent that I keep allowing myself to be. And it's a pretty good place to be also. I have my struggles because what I thought back in the day, that the perfection is something that I'm going to strive for. This is something that I'm going to work on and become at one point in my life. And then suddenly all my troubles are just gone. No problems anymore in life. But you can realize how it works in the whole spectrum of being a human being. That no matter how many problems you're gonna fight, how many problems you're gonna solve, like in maths or just generally in life, they will just keep coming in different way. I keep hearing it from different sources, especially some of my wiser friends. Not quote unquote, I wanted to say that, but I think we just have different experiences. Yet the idea of allowing yourself to be okay with the moment you are, in the moment you are, in this not shaped perfectly round, or not straight enough, or not curved enough, or in a precise manner, in a pattern that was written down before, or something that is designed. You are the work in progress. And that's why I feel within myself that I'm a work in progress. And I keep falling in love with that. So this episode has structure. And the structure is to read through something I prepared on my laptop and some questions. So today, I know only the good ones stay till that moment right now. I will just see if the microphone is recording. Oh, this. That's very good, because I saw that. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I saw the screen being dimmed, and I thought, oh, it's not recording. I'm gonna say that once again. But you know what? If I said that once again, it wouldn't feel right with me. It would feel like, oh, now I'm trying to record this episode and be something for someone instead of just be. I'm getting so philosophy is something I'm very curious about. Psychology is something that helps me stay on the path of this self-discovery, to see all those people in a manner of stories, in a way of everyone has something good to offer, and everyone had to deal with their own struggles, with their own adventures. And sometimes we just feel lost, even though it's totally fine, but we just get so much into the self-doubt. We get so much into, oh, I should have been that person, but I'm not. So what the hell am I doing with my own life? But you are who you are. And something I learned recently is, instead of looking so deeply on who you were or who you are going to be, just be so truly honest with where you are right now, build a pattern of moves, a structure system, a system of habits you're gonna follow. And then you're just gonna keep on becoming, keep on being yourself, but just growing. So what I'm gonna do, one more thing, is before I'm gonna ask myself, because this is me episode, before I'm gonna ask any questions to myself, I'm gonna dim the screen, I'm gonna put the filter mode, the reduce whiteness. Okay, it's still recording. I want the battery to just last as long as possible. Hope you can hear me. If you can, this episode is going to be totally just for me. Rambling, venting, trying to grow, trying to explore something. Because before I recorded, because I didn't record this episode on my birthday, I feel that I was lazy. I still think that this was something, this was the act of resistance, seeing the resistance being there. Oh, I don't want to record it, and then I'm gonna allow myself to skip it. One day, another day, there's an excuse. I gotta go up here. I'm gonna figure this thing out. It wasn't a priority to record this, even though I was so excited. Excitement doesn't cut it sometimes, but I have so much joy to just look at this video at the end and being. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of starting this. I'm proud of working on myself and uploading this video, because if I don't do it, it means I didn't put enough strength, I didn't put enough workload and emotional work into myself. It wasn't an act of self-love if I'm avoiding myself as a priority. Okay, there are no kids in the background, there's no family members up here, there's no strangers lurking through the bushes. So it's time to read some personal questions. Oh, I gotta show you some of my drawings from the journal. So we are just outside. Possibly you might hear some wind, you might hear some birds in the background. That's a drawing of a sunflower family up here. Is there a meaning behind it? There's a sunflower, there is a pond with some fish. There's more bigger sunflowers in the back. There is an alligator. There's a small flower, there's my signature. That was supposed to be a mole heap. So that was supposed to be a mole. You know, the blind ones, the blind animals. And actually there are two of them. One is hiding behind the sunflower, and one is on the mole heap. Shoot. And they are both wizards. So that's a part of my life. There's some smiles here on the clouds. I love that in most of my pictures when I'm drawing something, there's a sun in the corner. It's very, very the way I was at the age of 5-year-old. This is one of those episodes I'd like to come back one day and just see myself, look at myself and be, what was going through your head, kid? Why were you so hard on yourself? Why weren't you allowing yourself to? Well, what were you afraid of? So those are the questions I want to answer. Let's get to my list. So as you know, The Daily Happier, or you might not know it yet, The Daily Happier is a podcast that I'm trying to invite people, invite them with their stories, with the love and passion for life, with their introspective nature, for struggles, for the way they deal with life problems, the way they approach relationships, the way they try or they have a hard time, or maybe they would love to begin their journey with working on their mental health, or they're actively helping someone else, or creating content on social media about mental health. I need this to be a creative, safe space for all of us to stay human. The Daily Happier is a soul gentle reminder that you are not alone in this life. You are not alone in whatever hard experience you feel that is actually actively building up in your heart. And you might not feel the urge, especially the courageous urge of sharing it with anyone, because you just don't have the tools. You don't have the. I don't think I like calling it bravery anymore, because it's extremely hard to just share a piece of your soul, openly stay vulnerable, to lead with an act of conversation, to talk with anyone, to open up and being like, oh, this is me. And even though I'd like you to accept me the way I am and possibly help me on this life road, guide me, I don't want you to judge me. I want you to stay curious. I want you to stay by my side. I'm willing to risk it. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. I'm trying to be the least egotistical as possible. It's not about me, but at the same time, maybe it's about me. I want someone to hold space for me. And that's why I'm sharing it, because I'm struggling, so I want to share it with someone. And the Daily Happier is a piece for myself also. I'm recording it because anytime I hear a podcast, article, possibly a voice in the internet or somewhere in the world of someone who's willingly putting themselves out, staying gentle, vulnerable, and being so actively transparent about who they are becoming and what struggles they have and how do they act on them, I'm so excited to hear those stories. It's a piece of my heart that just stays so open. It makes me feel that we all were never alone. There's no reason to say, hey, I'm alone. When you're not, you're making the conscious choice to stay by yourself. But it doesn't mean that there's not so many people or there's no one they can talk with. I see so many people even opening up on the internet and just getting views. And people, especially if it wasn't for the views, it's that the comments just rise in the comment section, that, oh, hey, this is my story. This is something that I'm struggling with. Thank you for sharing that. And that's what the Daily Happier exists, because I know there's many more people just like me who struggle, who may want to see the world in positive vibes, in the lovely energy, in the golden energy, or just get day by day, or have a reason to just, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna make my bed. Not every day is going to be easy. Yet, I'm not getting here so only on that side. But there's so many of us, including myself, that's so hard to talk about our passion. Something that we are so thrilled about in our lives, what makes us energetic, what makes us powerfully happy. The real happiness. Not the one that social media tells us, okay, this is exactly a thing that you gotta do, that you need to become, and then you're gonna be happy. Small things can make us happy. We can make ourselves happy. And that's so beautiful. A small act of kindness goes a long way, especially the act of self-love. It goes tremendously so far that we might not even realize it. Anyhow, in case you find this podcast, smile wide. There is a funny sunflower somewhere inside. If you could contact me, I would love it. It wasn't about the podcast, it was about my journal. It was the first page. Give me 5 seconds. I'm gonna change some settings on my phone because I can't see the timer. 19 minutes? Freaking hell! What's going on up here? On my front page in my journal, I have those words: remember, you matter, smile wide. I would have to think deeply if that would be a sentence I'd like to leave people with, but this is something that came to my head the first time I was writing this page. If there are words that I want people to just see sometimes, I want them to remember that whatever they do, it matters, And smiling wide is an act of courage that we give ourselves. It's the hope that we give ourselves. Okay, so should I go with the questions? I might not go with the questions now. I might go with the questions at the end because there wasn't any structure so far. I'm working on that. I think I'm possibly recording this episode still as an act of breaking resistance. Like, I don't feel emotionally. It takes lots of emotions for me to record this kind of stuff. Is it the language barrier? I don't think so anymore. I'd say this might be, because I don't live in English-speaking country anymore. Yet I'm back home after 10 months of traveling. And I got used to being back home now. I've been here for 3 weeks. And I don't want to come back to my old ways. That's it. I don't want to come back to my old ways. I think I've outgrown who I was. I love myself. Yeah, that might be the second time I ever said that. So I've prepared 50 definitions. That was my last time using AI. I do promise. The previous times were to get like personal therapy from ChatGPT. But I got those definitions a week ago for my birthday because I was so excited to just see what kind of outlook I'm going to have on certain perspectives, certain ideas in my life, and how it's going to change over the years, especially the presence I can give from myself to explaining, to vocalizing my soul in different aspects. Okay, I'm not gonna use smart words. No, I know using smart words. I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna stretch a little bit. The pleasure of having this microphone is I can just walk, and it's wet. The grass is wet. 50 definitions. It's going to take at least an hour. I think so. I like to take 2 minutes per definition, but you know what? I could care less how long it's going to take. I have some definitions like compassion, boundaries, honesty, pain, responsibility, self-worth, surrender, and there's the last one about peace. And this is the one we're going to finish with. There's 50 of them. And all of them are in alphabetical order. What means if I get lost, I mean, when I come back to this video, back in the day, I can just, instead of listening to the whole thing, I can just scroll to one of those. But this is something I've been working on recently also. Even when watching a series like The Office, I might have the urge to skip the intro. But you know what? Even though I've seen it a million times, it's just so good not to skip, even the parts we know. It's just so good to just be so much into the moment. And I chose to watch it. So why am I allowing myself to skip something? I may not like it, okay. Maybe. But I don't skip it because I don't like it. I skip it because I know it. But this is something I've been working on. It's okay, don't skip it just because you want to be efficient. Don't skip it because you just want to be productive. It's such a good time to just be without maximizing anything. And the first definition is acceptance. Acceptance to me the definitions. I very much like with the definitions and taking a deep breath before. That's something I'm going to work on. Acceptance. I think it's going to be easier with the next ones, like going further and further. To accept means not to be in position of judgment. It's staying curious. It's about seeing the thing the way it is, accepting it, and allowing it to be that way. It doesn't mean that you don't want it to change or grow, or, oh, you accept yourself, so there's no transformation going on anymore. There is me right now in this state. Like, you're going to the gym and after 2 years you say, okay, I'm gonna accept myself the way I look, the way I've grown, and that's it. There's nothing else I gotta do about myself. But you know what? Over the course of those 2 years of working out and just becoming a new person, you've built yourself a bit differently. And just acceptance here. Might be the beautiful space of, this is who I am right now. Hey, this is the space in which one I am, and this is the space in which one I expanded or I expand, and that's beautiful. And I'm just gonna allow myself to just do that. I would change it if I want to, but I'm not gonna be saying this is wrong or this is right. I would just stay curious. I think there's lots about curiosity in this one. Accountability. You're staying accountable with yourself. The system of not missing twice is a good idea up here. Right now, I was running 4 times a week because I wanted to go Monday on my weeks start on Sunday, so this is the beginning of the week, with a long run. So Sunday is a long run, Monday is like a 5K, something easy, then something on Wednesday, something on Friday. So I never get the chance to skip more than one day. So that's how I stayed accountable. I was thinking, on Monday, I'm gonna do my workout, but it doesn't mean that if I do it, I'm gonna let go completely and not doing anything anymore. Possibly it might be about just falling in love with the process. Seeing that you do it for yourself. You do it for a cause. There is a purpose behind whatever you're doing. So instead of sticking to this is the results, instead of sticking to a conscious result that is going to embark from all of that, just to grow from any of this, you're just saying the whole process as a small steps, and you just need to put one foot after another, and it's beautiful. It's hard to stay accountable with your values, to choose love to yourself, to choose those values every single moment. It might be accountability is to stick to what you say, is to stick what you feel. If you feel it's right, it might be the best thing you can do at the moment, and you're gonna grow from it. If it wasn't the best thing, like for overall for anyone else, but it was the best thing that you thought, with all the data, with all the knowledge you acquired and the context and experience, allows you to just grow as a person, allows you to just see the world differently, and be yourself. I think accountability, consistency, it might be synonymous, but to stay accountable, it means to choose your values, live with them, and that gives me lots of smile. To understand that within any action I'm taking, there's lots of kindness. There's pure idea of just saying someone smile because of who they are. Because I know that even though myself, it's very hard to make it happen all the time. I know that having a conversation with someone is going to be so important. It's one of those acts of kindness, acts of service to other people and to yourself. Just step outside your ego and just get out there. Stay accountable to your values, to the love you hold within, to the peace that defines the stillness within your life. The power within the stillness, that you don't get distracted so much. And this is the path I'm taking, so I'm going to stay accountable to myself. And I'm just going to choose that path. No matter how much it's easy to diverge from it, to choose a different path, to choose a different trail, I'm going to stick to it. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to change it. But this is going to still be that path. It's not going to be because of the distraction. It's going to be because of the choice. Sometimes unconscious, sometimes the choice of the heart. But it's going to be a choice of self-love. Not the choice of distraction. I don't feel smart right now. I don't feel extremely smart explaining all of those. But the next one is authenticity. Authenticity means to be yourself, to be curious about what do you value in life, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel passionate. To stay authentic is to express and vocalize what you hold within, outside, to the best of your ability, and to stay on the path of discovering new, sometimes better ways to express yourself even more fully, fuller, or or fully. To be authentic, it means to not to play it, not to put any Shakespeare masks on. It's not treating life as theater or a game. But to be authentic, it means to just be, to allow yourself, to make every single thing that you call a mistake, learn lessons, be out there, expose yourself, to stay vulnerable, gentle, sometimes feel some of the hatred, feel some of the pain, yet just make that choice that, okay, this is who I am right now, and this is the way, the most straightforward way that I can explore, by letting it out, by showing up to my friends, by who I am right now, not who I want them to perceive me by. Who am I? When you say about authenticity, that's a very good question. Who am I? What do I want to do, and why I want to do those things? Who am I? Jacob is a life explorer that holds lots of love within his heart. To see the world grow in beauty of what we can achieve and what we are and what we went through. Jacob is someone who just perceives the world in terms of small acts of courage, kindness, self-love, who loves throwing pine cones and climbing trees, whose eyes spark when someone smiles. And Jacob just sees when someone smiles, but it's not it. It's not the true smile. Jacob is someone who loves seeing people without the makeup, the physical, like the mascara and stuff. But I mean the makeup of masks. Jacob loves seeing someone who sticks up for others, who helps unconditionally, who tries to figure it all out and keeps choosing love over fear, over the darkness that sometimes just creeps. Jacob holds many names. His family members call him Kuba. Some of friends call him Jacob. I stick to Jacob right now. Some call him Counselor Jacob, for the summer camp kids. Jacob is someone who is truly devoted to his craft, who loves to see good in people. And even though it's hard at times, And even though sometimes he's extremely hard on himself, he will keep on working, he will keep on pushing, and he will keep on smiling, especially. Belonging. Something I've been struggling with. Maybe not now, yet. Do I say I was struggling with that? Okay, my story-wise. In primary school, I I think I had a group of friends I was sticking with. Some of the boys, some of the girls from the primary school. And even though we don't keep in touch anymore, it might be hard sometimes to respond to a message, or even though the conversation just sticks for a couple messages, it just doesn't go anywhere anymore. Or I just don't want to talk with some of the people because our values or the storylines, they just are too far away from one another, or they just have different directions in their lives that are just not intertwining at any moments anymore. I had a time of self-discovery, of building my identity when I was possibly from the youngest ages, but the age of 12, when there was this girl in my class that I fell in love. Let's say I felt the spark with. If she felt that, I don't care anymore about that. But that was this girl that I started like liking, and I started working out because of her, because I wanted to improve myself. I was staying curious about the self-help industry, self-development stuff, growing more mature, to have more deeper conversation with someone, with my friends. Teachers in my schools, wherever I went, if it was primary, middle, or high school, they liked me. They liked talking with me. I don't know. Maybe I could hold a proper conversation with them. That'd be astonishingly lovely if they said anything like that to me. Yet my middle school teacher, my let's say favorite teacher overall from German class, he said, "Oh, Jacob is alienating himself from everyone else." He had a conversation with like different teachers of what's going on, why is Jacob everywhere, like far away from his friends. And it hit me one point because this is what I was doing. I was alienating myself. I was being in a position of, I know who I am, or maybe I don't know who I am, but I know who I am becoming, and I don't see my friends then actual friends. I'm not saying quote unquote friends, but my friends from primary school, they were not going the direction I was going. They were not working out. They were not listening to podcasts on the way to school. They were not writing journals. They were not waking up early. They were playing games all day long, or they didn't enjoy different sports, or they were talking about beer, booze, or whatever. Or I just didn't have the words and capacity to connect with them because I didn't outgrow myself, or I didn't grow into the direction of, okay, I'm gonna connect with them. So that was a choice I made. That I was the lone wolf. I was trying to be powerful in physical strength and mental strength, building the capacity of, I want to be better, maybe from them, but mostly grow into someone strong, someone capable, someone who can vocalize themselves, vocalize their thoughts, embrace the difficulties of life. And I started doing it very early on. And that wrecked me. That wrecked me for life. It helped me tremendously to become who I am right now. But it gave me the sense of loneliness, sense of there's no one else in my school, there's no one else in my friend group that I can connect with. There are people in the internet that they went on this path. Yet I didn't have the tools to connect with my fellow friends at the time. And coming back to my German teacher, I love him so much. And even though that sounded harsh, what he said, not to me, but to my father, I think, during one of the school meetings, he helped me realize that I'm capable of so much more. Trying me during the German classes where my school like classmates were answering about Kleidung in German, about the clothes, the vocabulary in German, about the clothes, about the school words, um, let's say like some technology vocabulary in some sense, just going workbook stuff. He was asking me about my Zukunft, about my future, about what I want to do when I grow up. And even though then I didn't answer, ich möchte nett sind und es ist einfach. Das ist alles, was ich möchte machen. That I want to be kind. I didn't say that. I was more of, oh, I want to be in California in the US. I'm going to work with Yahoo. I know I wrote it on one of my resumes when I was younger. I want to be like IT major and all that stuff. I want to have lots of friends or build a lovely family, be a good dad, be a good person. I think I was mentioning my family, but I was never saying and so powerfully directed. I didn't direct my life back then. I was trying to become someone who I was not. I was gathering all those skills. But I think the direction was there. The aim, the goal, the place in the future. It was always there. He helped me. He possibly helped me just see the life a bit more. Embrace it. Let's chill. Okay, the battery is 78%. The battery is 78%. I'm already tired. I drank coffee today, and that's something I'm working on. Drinking coffee. Every single time I'm drinking coffee, I'm going through all those PubMed research papers. Those are the words I was looking for. I'm going through the articles. I'm going through YouTube videos for personal stories of people who quit caffeine in their life. I feel so good without caffeine, and I feel miserable when I drink it. And I said that, I vocalized that, and that might be true for myself. I'm not saying for you, whatever works for you. But yeah, about staying authentic. Oh, that was about belonging, but about staying authentic. That was the time when I was growing into a person. Okay, I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna smoke, I'm not gonna do drugs, and it just stuck with me. Those were the choices that, okay, this is the definition of me. This is a part of who I am. So I'm just gonna stick to it. I'm not gonna want to break my own word, because that's how self-doubt just grows. And that's something I'd like to talk about today, about the pain of self-doubt. The boundaries. Yeah, gotta work on this one. Those are a couple boundaries I'm working on recently. If I'm not going to be intentionally present with you, I'm not going to be there. I mean, I'm not gonna make a choice of I'm gonna show up to this party or I'm gonna send a message. I don't half-ass things. So if I'm not truly intentional, if I'm not being myself within that email or within that phone call, it doesn't really make sense to me to make that phone call if I'm not truly myself right now. I might start a conversation, hey, today my energy levels are 35%. I did this and this and I don't feel okay. So please have a mark on my words, because it's just not who I am truly. I'd like to come back to you a bit later and just show up fully present. But maybe that might be like a perfection I'm seeking still. But that's a boundary of, if I'm doing something, I'm going all in. I just don't want to half-ass anything. I don't want to have my focus so disturbed, distractions everywhere, and me trying to grab every single thing with all my hands, being, oh, I want it all. I don't want it all. I truly don't. I want to take a breath. I want to find the stillness within my life a bit more. Boundaries. I'm not myself without the movement. What I mean myself is I'm not courageous enough. I'm not confident with my choices. I'm not courageous. I think I said that seconds ago. I'm not authentically fulfilled, happy, and peaceful and still at my heart if I don't move. If I don't pursue something bigger than myself. If I don't consciously pursue a way of living where I can challenge my body, my mind, my spirit. And that's possibly something that doesn't allow me to see people as who they are most of the time. I'm like, it's, oh, this person is not working on themselves, so I'm gonna just cross them out. Or, oh, this person is doing something about their own body, they're just working out at the gym, so I'm gonna idealize them. And now at the age of 23, I'm thinking it's not that simple. There's so much more to the story. So I'm listening. I'm taking more pauses. I'm working on the pauses and stillness in my life. And boundary of the time, I'm so important to myself. I gotta show up to myself first if I'm gonna show up to you. You mean so much to me. And there's no but, there's no yet. You mean so much to me, I mean so much to myself. And there's so much love within me. But this, no buts, no butt cheeks here. The boundary of choosing yourself first. Because if you don't choose yourself first, you can harm someone. And I truly do my best to be mature, experienced, and have the context. And keep on building the stillness not to hurt anyone. Not consciously, not unconsciously. It's just very painful to me seeing someone hurt if I did it myself. Because I wasn't mature. The last time I hurt someone, possibly my parents, when I was, even though I was vocalizing myself, like, hey guys, it's very sad that I don't see you working out, I don't see you taking care of your health, I see you complaining about life, I see you doing this and this and this, but you truly don't want to change, so maybe you could show up this with this act of love. You never said you love me, or I don't feel like you're being yourself because you are neglecting who you are. So maybe you should start working on yourself and truly stop complaining and stop truly making excuses. And me saying something along that way was more of harming. And even though I wanted to vocalize it, I didn't use the proper tools. Because right now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna be gentle, I'm gonna lead by example as much as I can. And even though it's very harmful to see my parents not working on themselves too much or being very neglectful of the way they live, even though it's harmful to me, I don't see it being a reason for me to spit out the pain, the struggle back on them and weighing them down even more. I want to show up with more presence than ever. I want to be there, not even giving advice, just talking actively about the way I live or I help others to live. And if they ask me a question, I'm gonna be so generally kind and just taking it easy, taking it slower. Because why should I judge another human being on their struggle, on their vice, if I have vices of my own? I struggle with pornography so long in my life. It's still a thing. I watched it a week ago, I think. Did I feel good? Possibly. That was one of the best feelings ever. But at the same time, I just feel, so what I did differently with myself right now with my addiction to pornography, even though I did like quit it, I think 4 years ago for like a whole year, and that's possibly the best year of my life, even though it I don't even remember it. But for the sake of the story, I could do it, and I did it. And sometimes I just take a break for like 4 months, 6 months, or like right now it was, I think, 10 months or something. And then I slipped back when I was back home. So having this kind of break and then coming back to it, it's very hard on my soul. It's very hard to, it builds up only my self-doubt about myself if I'm capable of acquiring the strength to hold myself accountable. But I allowed myself to do something differently. I deleted all the restrictions on my phone. I don't do like a password restriction anymore. It's so open, I can just open this thing. I can just watch it, right? It takes me like 5 seconds to open up like one of those websites. But you know what? It gives me so much strength right now because I'm making the choice for a week now that it's so boring to do it anymore. It's just so freaking easy and simple that I'm tired of it. I don't like simple. I love simple. So okay, that's too easy though. I like simple. I don't like easy when things are very easy, especially watching those kind of corn videos. I like to create a whole episode on that. I will. I will. I will. It's just so diminishing of who you are. It just doesn't help you to grow. It's not choosing the love, it's choosing fear. It's choosing the feeling of staying comfortable and indulging yourself with those videos or pictures or anything. It just messes up with your neuroplasticity, the way you see the world. And I gotta tell you, I see the world in beautiful forms, shapes, colors, textures, everything. I'm having fun, I'm dancing every time. But when the stillness comes, when boredom hits, I sometimes am afraid to take the pause and take the breath to slow down. Because when I slow down, I'm capable. I mean, it's very hard because I'm like, oh, I can do this, what I did back in the day, like watch one of those corny videos. But I'm not choosing myself because I'm outgrowing who I was. The stillness is something I'm working on right now. It's choosing the courage and compassion. I feel more comfortable. You see, this is the vicious cycle. Oh, I stuck to it so long, so I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna give myself some pleasure, and then like, oh my goodness, no, it doesn't work anymore. So I'm gonna keep it away. But I'm not gonna choose to watch any of that kind of stuff because this is not who I am anymore. That was myself till the age of even 20, 23. But the birthday, like on my birthday, it doesn't change. Like doing those expectations for the New Year's, I understand it. It's so humanly fun to just say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna start doing it full time. I'm gonna work on myself. I'm gonna do that and being, okay, this is the 1st of January. This is the time that things change. This is my 20th birthday, 2nd decade. I'm not gonna watch it. Or I put myself an iPhone and I said, oh, I will never watch it on this iPhone because this is a lovely iPhone. I watched it anyway. And then like, oh, I'm gonna get a new phone and never on this phone. I'm like, no, this is not who you are. So you don't do things righteously with so much compassion to yourself. How can you have compassion towards someone else or love someone else if you don't love yourself, if you are choosing things that are out of love? So I think this might be the most important thing to me that I'm figuring out still. And I will be figuring it out. I just get a good gut feeling that I'll just stick to it this time, and it's a good feeling. Let me scratch my butt. Oh, it's very uncomfortable to sit it like this. See, what's the battery level? The battery is doing very well. I realize I'm not doing those definitions pretty well. So compassion is the next one. Compassion, the ability to look past what you expect from someone, the ability to look past the attachments, past the fear of, okay, this is not the person I wasn't expecting her just be like that, or I don't like the way they are, or this is not something I want to be myself. But still sharing the love, choosing to show up, to be as much as you can, not to like shine back or hide yourself. Compassion means to, it's like ultimate power. It's a superpower. Compassion is a superpower. To allow other people to shine with their own light. Not to take it away, not, I was thinking to say, not to guide it. I think it's a lot about the allowing, something I'm learning recently, to allow myself, allow others to just be. It's not like I lost hope. It may seem like I lost hope on the world. That's not going to change, but it just is. The time just passes. People change. People experience. I get the new context. I outgrow my past selves. I fall in love with the love itself. I fall out. You can fall in love, but can you fall out of love? That's something I'm curious. Compassion is the act of choosing true and allowing others to express themselves just the way they are without pretending, and you being there without judgment. Courage. Courage is an act of bravery when the fear stays by your side, yet you choose to act anyway. You choose love, you choose to do the uncomfortable. You choose to aim for something that's out of your current reach, that you have to put work in, but you keep on doing it anyway. You are not You're not listening to the fear. I think that's what courage is. You're accepting the fear. The way it is, you know it's going to stay on your shoulder or stay in your backpack, but you are letting go. It might join you on the path one day, or you might remind yourself or reminisce the good times. Oh, my fear of not showing up as myself, or my fear of talking to the camera or talking to that person, my fear of expressing my emotions or my feelings, my fear of silence, my fear of not belonging to any group, my fear of being alone, my fear of being weaker than I was in 2022. It's still there, but I'm building the courage to keep on acting anyway. From the moment I am right now, to be fully present in this moment and actively choose the action of love instead of staying in the same place and just saying to the whole world, hey guys, I'm very comfortable in the place I am right now. There's nothing to change. But sometimes it's just fear that keeps us in the same place. It's not the stillness, the love in stillness. It's like if you are facing your fears, if you're facing your past, your future, your expectations, if you talk openly about who you are becoming, who you are, you stay vulnerable, that's beautiful. Yet if you're not facing this kind of stuff, you're living in fear. And even the small act of courage, like smiling, it goes in such a long way. It goes such a long way. It can save a life, I'm telling you. It can save a life when you smile, send that message, you call that person, you open up in the internet, you leave that comment, you take care of yourself. You drink water, you journal, you do cold plunges. A small act of courage to love, it goes a long way. Discipline. Discipline is to see the resistance that you gotta face and being capable to be present, choose the tools, and start going through that resistance. It doesn't mean that you gotta start complaining. Or even though if you may complain, or, oh, I'm very fearful, I don't want to do it, I'm very uncomfortable doing it. But the discipline is an act of staying authentic. The act of, this is what I gotta do to be the person I'm becoming, so I gotta put those steps in. And just build a story. Discipline is a lot about choosing to act when you don't feel like it, especially then. Because if you were acting, if you were growing, I don't think you can grow much. You can learn a lot. I mean, you can obtain the knowledge. But I don't think you can grow as a person if everything would be so achievable. If you had all the wealth in the world, if you were so emotionally mature, healed, or honest all the time, you wouldn't have a choice between, this is who I am relearning to be, this is the way I'm learning to be. If you didn't have those choices about discipline, distractions. Oh, I'm thinking about the clouds on the back. Discipline is the act of choosing the purpose. No matter how many distractions are showing up, is following your gut, your feelings, your values, and sticking to them. In real life, it's today I'm going on the 30K. I'm very excited to get on that run. And all that stops me is just finish this episode. I will talk for like 45 minutes more. And take it, put my socks on, dress up differently. Today is a hoodie day possibly, so I'm gonna wear a hoodie or a jacket. Put a hat on my head and that's it. The ball is rolling. 3 hours of a podcast in my ears. Some recording stuff in the meantime. Me and my thoughts and some smart people in my ears. And I'm very excited for that. Discipline is an act of love. I gotta say that right away. It's an act of self-love. Doubt is a silent killer. Doubt creeps from behind. It might creep in small words that come out of your mouth, in small actions that you take against yourself, against what you told yourself that you're gonna do. Doubt shows up when you don't listen to when you don't listen to who you are becoming. You listen to your past self. You listen to your friends, your family members that don't want to live the life you live, or they're not capable to grow to a person you gotta grow, because this is your life. It doesn't mean that you are not allowed to. You should listen to people, to those lessons in life that will keep you on the edge of growth, of becoming, of staying kind, loving, of understanding that there's so much in this life that we can simply enjoy as a human being, practice. It's so good. Simplicity. So many simple things that we just don't see because we don't have a context to live a little. Doubt creeps when there is no clear way forward. I doubt myself when I gotta sit down and record something. When I keep rereading words from my journal and I see that I'm stuck in a loop. But then it happens that I had to just go to have a conversation with that person, and it happens after the conversation, everything went so smoothly. I think a conversation, a simple act of conversing with someone, staying vulnerable, especially, opening up your heart with your desires, with your hopes for life, with your struggles, with the way that you're still healing, something that doesn't allow you to just be who you want to be, sharing who you want to be and who you were. What did you outgrow from? What lessons did you learn? The act of conversing about those kind of things, that's what I'm trying to do here on the Daily Happier, and I'm doing, allows you to just doubt yourself a bit less. Doubt is a silent killer, just like any other addiction. It's very powerful. The act of letting go. Letting it go. It possibly may be act of allowing it to be. Because in the act of creation, I love the way that Mark Manson and Drew in the podcast Solved, they spoke about it, that in creator's life, when you're creating content and you just possibly live, if it's about your art, is it about working out and, oh, I don't see progress within a week, I don't see progress within a year of me working out, or I'm creating a video about kindness to the internet, or my story how I've never sprained an ankle. I hope I will never sprain an ankle. But if it happens, I'm gonna record a story about it. And the act of judging yourself. Oh, should you do it? You shouldn't. Should you do it? You shouldn't. And not being so straightforward. There is an act of, okay, maybe I don't know this kind of stuff, but I would try to act anyway. I would try to find a way to post it. I would try the way to capture this kind of stuff and learn. Doubt keeps you away from learning. It keeps you in a persistent period when you are not becoming anymore. It keeps you in your old ways. Doubt is a friend of fear, I feel. Empathy. I'm gonna leave all of those definitions very unphrased. I get a feeling if I don't write the definitions down, I'm just gonna keep rambling like that. There's so much I didn't add. So this episode is like a draft. It's a draft of my heart. It's a draft of staying a bit more myself. Not much expectations. Just vibing. I love staying hard on myself. That way I just can keep pushing. Just being a bit more gentle. Maybe not. I don't want. It's like I want to stay hard, but I don't want to stay soft. Because when you're soft, it feels like, oh, you're not treating yourself with enough respect and enough. Where am I going with it? I want to stay vulnerable and gentle. I will stay hard and come in a manner of discipline, unconditional love, and staying courageous in life. And the next one is empathy, the ability to see past appearances, to see the emotions, to help others open up, to be the safe space, to be the one that knows how to listen, to be capable of sharing a piece of yourself and not being scared that someone is going to hurt it and just risking it. But that's totally fine. I think that's a bit more vulnerable instead of empathy. I think it's very good to be empathetic. Doesn't mean to be, no. Okay, empathy. To work on your empathy in life, to work with empathy by your side. Let's just stay human. To see other people as human beings, not as the wells of wisdom, of perfect wisdom, not seeing the world as better than I am. Oh my gosh, I need some movement in my life. I hope you have a video up here so you can see my downward dog and my bones cracking. Oh jeez. This episode is just for me. No one else. You're not allowed to watch it. You're not allowed to listen to it. Empathy. My dad is going to ask me a question. Co tam? Co tam? Masz robaki tam? W butach? Masz pytanko do mnie jakieś? Co tam? Nie jest mi zimno. Jest mi zimno. I'm cold. I'll be fine, Dad. Yeah. Coming back. Oh, that was an act of empathy. Of taking care of someone else a bit more than you take. Oh. That's something I'm healing from. It's not an act of taking care of someone else a bit more than you're taking care of yourself, but treating someone else the way you would treat yourself, with so much love, with so much respect, and with the ability to just see past their mistakes. Advice. Endurance. The ability to keep going. How many times you may feel that, okay, I'm not giving enough, or I made a mistake, or it was hard to do this kind of thing, like go for a run, but you went anyway. That's very loving, that's very caring of who you are becoming. The endurance is just to keep going. Faith. To act like it all matters. Any small things that we do, it's choices. The choice to be kind today, the choice to support, the choice to push a little bit more. When you're running for 10 minutes, run for 12. Faith is that it all matters because we as human beings, we just have reasons to live, the reasons to inspire ourselves, the reasons to just show up with love and life to explore it. Faith is the ability to just show us, okay, sometimes, but I'll keep on going. I'll keep on trusting that this all I don't think I like saying it's all meant to be, or it all makes sense. I'm not adding any religion into any of those. I'm not very religious myself. So it's not the question about gods. It's not the question about believing in something else. But I think to have faith, it means to know, think, feel deeply that it will work out. You just have to try. And if it doesn't work out, possibly you might change things, but you gotta try. If you don't try, you will never know. You will lose 100% of those chances you won't give a try. So please try in life. And if I'd say what my faith leads me to, is that possibly all the people have good intent. They might not have all the tools. They might not have good tools to express themselves, to vocalize what they need, vocalize the way they want to be appreciated or the way they want to be respected or they want to be treated. But most of us, they just want to love, find or build their peace. I like the idea of building, not just finding stuff, especially with the happiness, that you are not on the path of, okay, I'm gonna find my happiness when I travel the world, where I meet all those people, where I read a book or like a self-development book, let's say, or The Lord of the Rings, or I record this, or I write that, or I just become that person, or financially this stuff. No, I think it's about the building. It's about the process. I have faith in people. I have faith in the process. I have faith that nothing beats love. Come on. Love is infinite. Love is good. Family. I remember back in the day when I was doing definitions with myself and with my friends, and there's definition of love. I'm gonna skip to definition of love. I get a feeling the family up here is very important, and it just goes like family, love, and hmm, I'd say peace. That's something that just comes to my mind, peace. But I'll be thinking about the words like goofiness, joy, fulfillment. Even though it's not like building a family, that it's not going to fulfill your life if you don't work consciously on other things to make it fulfilling. So I wouldn't say fulfilling, but it's like a serene feeling of, okay, we are together and we need to work it out together. There's not much else that matters except all of us here, close friends. Yeah. Okay. I've been stuck in my my head, unfortunately. Why would I even say unfortunately? You see, I'm working on some stuff still. Okay, family. It's a group of friends, possibly the ones that were made out of love, and the ones that wasn't connected. They were not connected by love. They were connected by the ability to stay present with each other. The partners that became really good friends and lovers by pursuing something totally simple, powerful. Those two people who chose to show up as they are, show up every single day, risking it that they may not be accepted by, okay, this is the part of me I want to share with you. I want to be vulnerable with you. And if you don't accept it, you just don't accept it. I mean, we can part our ways. And I think with the family members, it's just the ability to belong, to create a safe, healthy space for all of us to be the best we are. And even though we may not like it, we're gonna be there for one another. We're gonna grow. We're gonna give each other hands, piggybacks, smiles, pats on the back, ice cream nights, barbecue stuff. We're gonna work out together. We're gonna swim. We do more things together. We find so much joy in stillness, calmness, with serenity of just being present. Serene ability to just be. Allow. Family allows. That's why family is not only about the people that brought you up, with your parents, with your siblings. It might be purely about the people that you just feel connected with. The people who stick with you no matter what. That anytime you took the risk, they were there. They showed up. They were present. Sometimes even more present than you were. And there's so much love and possibly and hopefully vocalized, expressed in acts of kindness, in acts of service, in the way you show up every single day. Curious. I like curiosity. Forgiveness. To see past our mistakes, to see past our story, the way the things went, both about us, both about someone that were close to us, or just someone else. To forgive them means to being able to see past it and move on, let it go. Because I'm not gonna, I said that once again, I will say that once again, I'm not gonna judge anyone based on their vice, the way they express their struggle, because I might have made a decision to stay silent when I struggled. They might have made a decision that they're gonna vocalize, shout, punch, hurt. But it doesn't mean that I'm gonna hold a grudge on that for too long. I will be angry, I will be sad, frustrated, closed, vulnerable, estranged. I will make space between us. But to forgive is to be a bit courageous, to actually maybe not understand, but to just allow other people be themselves. Be there to help them if they need that. But sometimes to forgive is to just let go. Let's let go of the expectation of how things were supposed to go and live. Keep on living. To forgive is to live. Very smart. My feet are extremely cold here. I don't like this. It's very coldish. But you know what? It's cold. I'm gonna put some sandals on. I'll be back. Did I just burp? That's astonishingly wrong thing to do. What's the next one? Friendship. People who choose themselves. I think it that way. People who choose staying present with one another, exploring just some parts of who they are, but just being curious about one another also. They like to do some experiences with one another, explore, goofy around. A friend is someone who will look out for you, like a true friend. I'm not saying an acquaintance. I'm not saying someone who you work with, your classmate, your coworker, or even someone you spend 4 months with. Close, like in the vicinity. It's not about like a physical vicinity, because I can talk with someone every single day and I will not call them my friend. I might say they're really far away from that, especially if there's some maybe power difference, maybe especially value difference. So I'd say a friend, someone who you can truly connect with, has similar values with you, or maybe similar passions. The values might not connect all the time, but there's something that just connects with you on a deeper level. That you just see yourself within them. And you have that spark in the eyes of the little kid that was at the playground and be like, oh, this person likes to slide. I'm going to slide with them. Hey, Charlie, do you want to be my friend? Oh, and Charlie is like, oh, dude, I want to be your friend, of course. Do you like a slide? I like a slide. I love sliding. To have a friend is a privilege. Remember that. And open up to your friends. It goes a long way. It helps you heal. Gratitude, to see the small wins. It's not always, I think it's also about the privileges. Like, I'm grateful that I can move, that I can go on the run, I can work on my body, I can even feel consciously ashamed of my body choices. No, no, I think I can, me being ashamed of, oh, I didn't go and do my workout. It's a privilege that I can feel that emotion because my body is working properly. And that was my conscious choice that, oh, I didn't want to do. So now I'm growing as a person because I had the chance to experience that. And I'm grateful that I had that chance of growth. So small wins, privileges, and just noticing that stuff. And small joys in life, like jumping on crunchy leaves is a very cool one. Or having your friend by your side. Or something more saddening, something that might bring lots of pain, like seeing your friend, like being at let's say at a funeral of someone you love, your friend, your family member, or being in a situation that both, like, I'm saying, just seeing someone go away, pass away in this manner in the funeral. There's so many emotions within you. There's so many emotions within you because of that person. And it's so beautiful to be able to notice them. It's beautiful to feel and to stay gentle no matter what happens to us and no matter what we do. The next one is growth. Growth is to understand, to change, to transform from who we were into someone else. But most of the time, growth is a journey within. When we start noticing what we bring to the table, what we get from the table, whatever the table is. What I mean by that, growth is a spiritual. Come on, wait, I gotta drink. I need my water. So, growth is journey. I said something like growth means to go within. I do agree with that. Something about change and a choice. Growth is surely a choice. Right now in my life, I don't need more answers. Every single article up there about self-improvement, every single video on YouTube, I watched all of that. In a certain way, it everything changed me and allowed me to just be in this moment and record this episode up here for you. Yet, what I need to do right now is to be more present with what I have, be more attentive in every conversation I do, or choose which conversation I choose. I, I dive deep into. And when I write, I'm profoundly going to deepen my vocabulary, to just write more on the spectrum, not choose every single time the same way. To grow, it means to spread your wings. Be like a butterfly, schmetterling. To see more beauty maybe in the simple things. Growth to me means to love yourself. So in my values ladder, love, kindness, and growth and peace are extremely high. I'd say love might be the first one. Like within the description of love and the explanation, I will hold the discipline, staying vulnerable, staying present. Let's say those three things. With peace, I would say trust, accepting yourself the way you are, and just understanding, okay, I'm very peaceful right now because I know whatever happens, whatever comes my way, I just know I will just boop. That was a bread with butter. That went smoothly. The peace when you can just stay gentle and don't get hurt because you know you're strong enough. Kindness, the ability to stay outside of yourself, to use the power you have within to help other people, to see the world in beautiful colors, to help them smile more often, to help them find the authentic ways of expression, of being able to explore the life that we have. And growth up here is to stay curious. Maybe I should have started with that. That's the growth journey we just went on for the last 2 minutes. Growth, to grow is to stay curious, ever curious. That's so sexy. I mean, that's on my list. What I look in a future partner one day. To stay ever curious. Oh, my back, I'm getting older and older. Healing. That's a funny one. I'm such an advocate for the idea, and I'd say painting the picture in a way that all of us are just the little kids that we once were, just with all those experiences, different bodies that we just outgrow, and just with all the context we have currently. But inside, the little joys that we experience right now, the way that we want our voice to go further in life, or the way we just want to take some space, or whatever. It's just so pure to me. Oh, we have it inside. And possibly we are healing. We are healing from all the damage that all those little ones within our heart, the damage that we inflicted, the world inflicted on us, the lessons that we had to learn and they felt painful, the true hurt that we felt, like moving houses, losing a family member, or anyone being abusive to us, or us building our self-worth through the action. I think a massive step toward healing in life is to allow yourself to be, okay, this is my past. The future might be unknown and I don't have any control. I choose the anxiety not to overrule my life. So I'm just gonna live within the state of acceptance for all of that, and I'm gonna grow. And the healing, so many definitions just overlapping. It's so funny. I'd say healing is also a journey. Let's say a metaphor. It's like you buy a plot, or you're in a forest, and a part of the forest is just you, and you're trying to organize the sticks, you're trying to organize the nature, you're trying to organize, let's say, branches. There's a hammock between those two trees, or there's a tree that I don't like, so I'm gonna cut it down. I have to sharpen a stick. By stick, I have no tools. I'm naked and I'm in the middle of the woods. But then there are parts that we can't change, and the healing comes from accepting them the way they are. Maybe you can shape them a different way, because there's so much beauty. You have a tree and you don't like the tree, and you say you can't move the tree because it's going to kill the whole forest if you cut down the tree. But what you can do is you can do a little heart on the tree, and with some letters inside, and be like, okay, I love myself. I'm gonna do a smiley face in the heart, or a story. Write a story on the bark of that tree, something cute. Or you can rearrange it somehow, make some decorations around it, but make it visible. Make it the way, okay, I accept it the way it is. I can't change it. I wish I could change it, but this is not the way I am. Some things just can't change. We are dealt a deck of cards. We gotta deal with them somehow. We can exchange somewhat, but some of it we just can't, and there's a moment of acceptance, and that's how the healing happens. But most of it happens through growth, through facing your fears. So many more definitions. I'm halfway. Freaking, it's not a halfway. Jeez, it's 2 hours almost. Okay, health. To be healthy, it's extremely cold. Is the microphone working still? I don't even know. You know what? Are you working? You are working. Ugh. Health. Why do I need to even give definitions? It's very undermining to give definitions of things that already have definitions. And totally, my definition is not gonna change anything here. So I'll just give some personal examples. Diet, sleep, movement. I'd say this might be a base of your health, to move, to challenge your body, like running, calisthenics, workouts at the gym. That's very close to my heart. Um, Sleep, working on your evening routine, not watching anything before you go to sleep, drinking water, like finishing your food like 3 hours before you go to sleep, a cold environment when you go to sleep, nothing was going to distract you, make it dark inside, like, physical stuff. Nutrition, simplify a bit your food, to watch things you eat. Make sure your weight is considerably in the health spectrum, and you are not overweight or obese without muscles. I'm overweight myself. I was obese back in the day, but I had so much muscles. But now, nah, this is my belly. Uh, yeah, I'd say building your relationship with food. It's so practically important, because like sleep, working out, movement, and nutrition are the fundamentals of your life. You keep on doing it every single day, so you better brush up your knowledge and master some of that, especially sleep. And I wouldn't see myself without movement. But you know what? With health, I'm gonna mention something even more important to me. What I see now, that okay, I've built those three of those. I'm not master. I would say I'm a master sleeper though. My sleep is excellent most of the time. I have my workout routine that I'm postponing. The sun is still out, but I'm gonna go for a run soon. And like my diet, I've never struggled with food. Like I can't bulk. I don't have patience to eat too much food. Yeah, but the most important part of health, to stay healthy, vulnerable, to just open up with your feelings, open up with your needs, with giving your life direction through making choices and not letting it all being made by someone else, or expressing your emotions, especially. I think I keep repeating my own words that are within a couple sentences. What's the remedy here? Deep conversations. That's what reminds me of health. Community. Oh, I don't have the word community up here. I reckon so. Community, a group of people, a community even of two, but those ones who will not judge you on your passions, on the way you are, yet will enjoy the time with you. Well, will join you for your activities, will be there for your growth journey, and you will be there for them. So it's like a part of health when you can be there for someone and help them, and they can be there for you when you need to help. When you need help, asking for help is very healthy. Also, it's an act of courage. Hope, yeah, I did hope. I did hope. I didn't hope. I did hope. Health, honesty. Okay, I'm gonna go with those definitions very, very quickly. First things that come to my mind: honesty. When you are taking a pause and you are aligned with your emotions, what I mean by aligned with your emotions is you can vocalize, okay, right now I feel frustrated because of this happening, and this made me feel that way. Or I feel generally happy, I feel elated by sticking to my habits recently. So this is the state I am in right now. And being able to vocalize it along the truth, facts, or any information you gotta share with someone, it helps you build more honest approach. Not pretending something, not being oblivious. Obliviate. Like one of those Harry Potter spells. Honesty is built on choosing truth, no matter how painful it feels sometimes. Hope is something that you give yourself, that's not given by others. Others might be an example of a story that gives hope that, okay, they made it happen. But hope is a choice that you make. Am I willing to believe in myself enough to make this thing happen? Identity, identity, identity. Okay, there's no D sound. Identity. Lovely word. So much weight, so much power within those 7 letters. Building your identity can make you or break you. Just wanted to say that out loud. Because when I was 12 and me stumbling upon all those videos on YouTube and articles about, okay, this is what you gotta do to be more yourself, or this is how you grow, or those are 10 habits that will make you more emotionally stable or emotionally aware. Building yourself is a hardship, but it's such an example of love, such an example of curiosity. Identity is who you are, but also who you were and who you're becoming. All of it is you, and it's the moment to accept it. But identity is also what you believe in, what your values are, what your hopes and dreams are, what your attachments, distractions, what do you define distractions by, what your habits are, what your practices are, what a part of your identity are the people you stick with, the group you belong to, community, the choice, okay, this is who I want to be friends with. The small aspects of personal traits that you like or you dislike in other people. Sometimes they may indicate, okay, this is what I like within myself. Now, this is something I'm still working on, or this is something I'm struggling with. It's all of that. But I like to say that the way identity is the stage of acceptance with what was, what will be, and acting in the moment on what you acquired. Please never do any of those episodes ever again. It's extremely hard to do those definitions. I challenge you to do it yourself. I mean, please do. Might be easier for you. I'm struggling. Joy. I feel joyful when someone next to me open up about their life story. I see joyful when I see kids at the summer camp making friends. I feel joyful at the campfire when I can shut my mouth and listen to good stories around. When I can hear the laughter. I feel joyful when I stick to my habits. I feel joyful when I choose love in expressing my emotions and expressing myself in my actions. And I don't choose fear anymore. That's when I feel joy. It can be joy with moving more in life. Dancing is my love language, and I will stick with that. Joy is when you take care of your body, when you put it as a priority. Joy is the moment when you is the moment. Joy is within the moment. Joy fills the moment when you accept the things the way they are. You're not willing to change them. You're not willing to attach to them. But you are fully present to accept them and allow them to be just the way they are. With so much happiness in your heart, because that's a precious moment that you might never ever see again in your life. And you are so grateful. You have so much gratitude in your heart that, okay, the possibility of me being in this moment in my life and just saying this with all the context I have in my head and my heart, you get to see that, you get to notice that, you get to just be in the moment. It's so joyful. Let's see, one more time. Microphone check, 49%. Things are going well. Yeah. I should have built up a better setup here, shouldn't I? But you know what? Still, there's just a couple of you who are going to watch it. I didn't make myself to go up here. I mean, staying fully authentic. There was no chain thought about looking at the camera, looking at the battery levels, and going up here and moving like that. There's just blank. There's nothing in my head right now. I think I'm depleted of energy because I ate so much cookies. I ate cake today from my niece's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday again. Let's go. To my two nieces yesterday. Okay. Not niece, but nieces. Little ones. Boop. And they had cake and they had żeberka, some barbecue stuff. Very good. Thank you, Mom, for making them. Thank you, sister. Thank you, brother-in-law. Thank you, everyone up there. You guys are so good. Oh, Jesus. Loneliness is the next one. I wasn't ready for this episode. Jesus. I mean, oh my God. Oh. Loneliness. I don't feel alone anymore. Okay. Two things. to feel alone and lone, like Alone, and there's another word like Lone. It just, the difference of one letter in the front. Because you can feel lonely within the crowd of many people, but you can feel alone. Okay, I don't have I, I don't have the perception in my head how to vocalize it first. So just approach it differently at the moment. It's just sometimes like my friends will say, okay, about loving me, Jacob, you should believe in yourself a bit more. You're doing so much beautiful stuff. You're helping all those people. You're making people smile. You bring so much joy to the room. You fill the room with the energy. And I might have still the self-doubt that I feel misunderstood. I have no one to talk with about what happens in my heart. And that's why when I have a couple acts of this kind of courage when I still chose to be vulnerable, and I grew a lot from those moments. And I think like I didn't grow as much of the last 22 years than I did grow over the course of a month when I was just opening up. And even one conversation during like summer camp or any time I had someone and we felt a good connection between each other so we could open up, it helped me grow tremendously. So the ability to connect, it didn't make me feel lonely anymore. And I know I'm not alone. I know there's so many good people around that I can just call or message and we can talk. But I know they might feel lonely sometimes themselves. But I feel alone. Not now. I mean, I know exactly what I gotta do. I gotta keep with my workouts, I gotta keep on with creating my content. And that's a very therapy question. My short answer would be no, I don't feel lonely anymore. I felt like that for a long time. It's just, I need to put some massive action in. Yeah, no. But loneliness is a state when you feel there's no one to talk to. There's no one who can understand you, understand your feelings, understand yourself. I felt lonely when I felt so fearful of who I am, of who I was, or what I'm working on, or how much, especially, I felt lonely when I understood how much work there is to be financially stable and live abroad, or to go to the summer camp for the first time, or to be comfortable with loving someone, them not loving me back in a romantic way, or being right now in a position that I'm not pursuing anyone anymore. It's pretty comfortable. And it's a lonely feeling when you are in a new chapter in your life. And there are people maybe, but I would say your situation is unique, or my situation might be somewhat unique. It just feels like it when you feel lonely. It just feels like your situation is so unique that you might not connect with anyone because no one has the story you have. But when you start vocalizing it, you start putting the action into it. It's just like, oh, this person is living similar way, or oh, they have a similar story. Oh, this connects. Oh, this works like that. I might feel lonely sometimes because there's no one else to share that struggle with. That's why I'm sharing things to the internet. Yet I feel lonely anymore or alone. That might be something I will record on later because that's how I felt in high school. Because in primary school, in like chapter between middle school and high school, I chose my high school based on friendships I had because my friends were going to one school. I had like 180 points on my like high school, like 180 out of 200 points. What's excellent score on my exams, and the school I was going to, because of my friends, going to the same class I was going to as a IT major, they just needed like 117 points to get there. So I put that school in the rankings on the first place. And the next school I was going to had like 164 points. And even though I knew the school is going to be much better for me because I might be exposed to more opportunities and just a whole space that I'm up here, a small human being, and I can just learn and learn and learn, I chose a smaller place, but I'm really comfortable with all those people so I don't feel alone. And if I were in that all big space with so much to learn, I would feel alone. But I didn't. Good people in my new high school. I switched high school in the midterm of the first class. Very good, independent decision. I'm very happy I chose myself over my friends at that time. And that might be one of the reasons, or like the biggest reason why they felt neglected and we just lost. We didn't kept in touch. I didn't keep in touch with them. You see, I was so much in my own ass, to be honest. See, there's so many stories that need to be unfolded, to just learn that we all have so much to share, so many different perspectives, and we might just feel angry at someone, but maybe you were at fault, maybe you didn't do enough. The wind is shaking on my arms, gotta drink the water, and the next one is I love how there's a transition between loneliness and love as the next definition. But about loneliness, when I was going to high school, I was taking a train for my small city up here. 2,000 people overall, I think 600 in my part of the city, like two cities next to each other, small ones, small villages. Everyone knows everyone. Very funny situation. So we were going by train from my place. I think all of my friends are still living nearby. Anyhow, I was going to the train station. I was taking the train and going to the school with them. But what I was doing on the train, I just didn't understand. I wanted to sit by myself in the beginning of the day. I don't remember what kind of feelings I had back then. I didn't vocalize it. I didn't capture it too much. But I wanted to just don't stand in the middle of the crowd and just be on my phone, let's talk. And when you're on the train, everything just moves you. I was choosing to go in the back of the train. My friends were like in front of the train and just possibly always standing in the midst of the carriage of the wagon. I think it's called carriage. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. I love how authentic it is. I'm not trying to find. I'm not gonna cut it. No. No cutting it. So they were just standing with their phones in or just talking about random stuff. I chose to go in the back and sit with strangers because I just didn't understand how they can't separate for that time being and just sit down somewhere. Because for me it was something that I I didn't boast it. I boasted within myself, but I didn't boast it on other people in conversations. But I felt very more I built my confidence upon that. Like talking to possibly other people or like different students from different schools and saying, hey, hello, is this seat taken? ¿Este asiento es libre? Or whatever. Is this seat taken, please? Czy to siedzenie, czy mogę tutaj usiąść? Can I sit with you up here? Simple questions. And I was so afraid to just ask a stranger, can I sit with you up here? Or how was your day? And then what started happening? I started opening up a bit more. And instead of talking with my friends, I was talking with the strangers. It was so beautiful because I started getting to know their stories. It wasn't about communication anymore, like commuting from my house to the school anymore. It was about learning how to live a bit more. And even the act of changing schools, I could care less about what I learned in school, to be honest. Like, truthfully, I didn't care at all. I didn't know, I knew back then that I don't want to go to college, or and that knowledge doesn't allow me to grow in a certain sense. But what I knew is I want to make that decision because it's going to help me be more independent in life. It's going to help me make more selective and more decisive life choices than just going with the flow. I am the flow. I am the one who knocks. So that was one of the acts of self-love that I chose what felt right to me at the time. And especially watching all those videos on YouTube that say talk with a stranger and do something that you feel fearful of. I started doing this kind of stuff and it excited me so much. I liked it more. It doesn't mean that I hated my friends, no. It's just we were not going in the same direction. That's it. And I just didn't want to get stuck. I think I didn't. I didn't get stuck, finally. My mind is going somewhere else. With that, love. Love is a safe space to grow, to goofy around, to stay joyful, to experience life together, when every single moment you're choosing to open up a bit more, stay authentic as much as you can. And you know what? Risk it. Risk it for the biscuit that they might not choose you for the way you are. But if they do, this is what true love is. Opening up bit a bit by bit, taking the masks off, staying vulnerable, staying gentle, building something. I don't think it's bigger than ourselves. The emotion is beautiful of true love. Okay, let's get back to what I was saying. I don't think that in love it's about building something bigger than ourselves, or that this is like a grand thing. I feel that love is so beautiful when it stays simple. It doesn't need the constant highs or lows. It doesn't excite me at all. It just brings so much pain that you cannot grow out of. You cannot learn from. The love that I love is it's it's slow. It feels like a slow dance on the porch with a sunset, even though I love sunrises so much, but with the sunset, with a gentle folk music or a guitar in the back. And having kids play the guitar. And some dogs running around, some chickens in the background. I think love is a choice. Love is a choice to not expect the joy to show up miraculously. It's not an act of conversing one so deeply that you're gonna be like, oh, this person is accepting me, this person is like, oh, they dig me, they truly know who I am, so I'm very okay with that. They love me, so I love them. Love is the constant choice that we gotta make. I love the way that Emma Watson said that in the J with Purpose or J on Purpose podcast with Jay Shetty. That it's about the risk we gotta take. If we don't take that risk, what is so loving about it? It's just it becomes. She said that about the risk. It's a risk we gotta take. If they accept us, but if they don't, yeah. Love is not like a forest fire. It's like a campfire. More like it. I was just looking at the sticker on my journal. It's like a campfire. It's like a hearth. HEA. RTH, hearth. Uh, Love connects. Love brings people together. I wouldn't say that love itself is something that you can just be like, oh, I love you, or even if our this is something that I've been falling into for so long. I'm not gonna call names. I'm not gonna call names, but yeah, let's go. Let's just go through it very vaguely, not calling names, but just going overall with like different chapters in my life. Because there are some girls, but could be boys. I'm just saying like a partner, like someone in your life, possibly even better when you are friends with them already. But in my case, there were some good people that I was connected with, and I was just falling deeper and deeper. Like I had a crush on in primary school or somewhere else, but every single time there was something about the chapter I was in. So in the beginning, like one of my crushes, I liked her because she understood my jokes. I could be totally goofy around her. I felt needed, protective, that if she said something, we could talk about it, and it was very, very nice to just be in her presence. I felt more confident. Like my hands were shaking, my voice was stuttering. When you are 12 and you're together, it just feels different. Or someone that was very, I had a crush on the girl that was going to the gym with me. I can't go too specific with any of them because that will go too far. But it's the way that right now what I see in people are those kind of personality traits. Because if I see a girl or a guy, or okay, let's say like vaguely, I see a person who takes care of their body, is consistent with their workouts, possibly even creates content on social media, or openly talks about their emotions. But it's more of the action, like working out at the gym. I know this. I see that this person tries. I don't know if they are, but they try to be more healthy in life, disciplined, curious. They build on their knowledge, because if they didn't respect growth, they wouldn't be at the moment they are in life. It's so very important to me to just see those values in those people. So yeah, like going to the gym was a factor up there. Another person. Oh geez, I don't even know. I don't even know. Who was next? Who was next? Oh, which stage of my life? School, summer camp. Yeah, summer camp goggles are going crazy. Don't go with the summer camp goggles. Okay, just overall, like working out is a thing for me. Seeing someone who reads good books, especially Percy Jackson and Harry Potter. If I see you reading those books, that's awesome. If you're good with kids, it just tells me how genuine you are, how authentic you are. If I see a spark in your eyes jumping on some like crunchy leaves, that's very cool. That's a fun thing. Like how good you are with animals. If you talk to animals, if you make cute voices, if you say that's such a cute hamster. Oh my goodness, it's so chubby. If you do any of this kind of stuff, it's just so cool. And it just tells me, okay, this person might be like that, might be like that, and then I want to explore the relationship or get to know them even more. Deep conversations are so important. And I think I might be saying I was falling in love with those people, or like with different people in my life, because I was seeing something within them that was very important to me, that was mirroring the values I have, and was expressing in the real world what I had internalized, what I was avoiding to let it out. Or even if I was doing it, if I was at the gym or something at the summer camp, it's just so good. If you see some counselors are liked by kids, some are not liked by kids. I was mostly the counselor that was liked by kids, adored. But it's not the thing. It's not the thing. But if there is like a different counselor, I see, okay, this guy, this girl is liked by their kids, so there is a reason for that. And then I want to explore it, maybe not for the sake of love, but for the sake of curiosity. What makes that person so interesting, or what skill, personality trait, or what kind of activity they are doing with those kids that it makes them so drawn to them. And most of the time it was the authenticity, or okay, this person likes rugby or fishing. I think about a very good person up here. He's a good guy. Or someone is very, I'd say not confident, but they are a stage person. They go on the stage and they just own the room with their energy. It's so beautiful. Or they're just generally a good counselor to be there to listen to you, to be the safe space to talk with. Be a good friend, a good partner, a good counselor, a teacher, a guide. Okay, I'm not going any further with that. To love is to choose life. I'll go with that one. Meaning, heh, heh. Who said that meaning? What's going on? Definition of meaning. My freaking good. Definition of definition. I don't like that one. Come on. Who? ChatGPT, you ain't helping here. I saw one of the definitions, one of the words for the 50 definitions here that says you. Y-O-U. That might be a deep one, but we won't make it that way. I hope so at least. It's 2 hours and 11 minutes. Meaning. When something is worth doing for the sake of doing it. When it demands your presence. I'm very close to say that lots of things, like everything, I'm like is everything might have meaning behind it, or it has meaning to do that stuff. And surely yes, like habituality based on okay, this is what happened to me, that's why I do this kind of stuff. But to choose something out of meaning, to add meaning to something, it's very personal. It's extremely based on your identity, on your values, on the cohesion of who you are and what you gotta do, what you want to do, what you need to do, how you perceive the world even more. So meaning means meaning adds up to the experience, makes it more alive, makes it an act of identity, of deepening the understanding of who we are or who are the people we are sticking with. Because if a thing doesn't have a similar meaning to both of you or to a group, you might realize, okay, this is possibly not the group that I'm belonging to or I want to belong to, or there's time to change friends. You can get to know someone's values when you talk about meaning of stuff, when you talk about definitions. Pain. Pain is the next one, and it's not the Spanish country that's called Spain. It's pain without the S. I'm very happy you're still with me. At least you. I know you're gonna listen till the end. I'm very happy for that. If it's not only me listening to it at the end, 5 years from now. 5 years from now, I'm gonna be 28. That's beautiful. Time is passing beautifully. Painful, pain. Can I escape this one? Pain, pain, pain. Hmm. I think my capacity to think today is very low. I'm gonna go for the run. I will need to eat some Nutella. I will eat some that stuff. Eat some bread with butter, a banana, a kiwi, and then we'll go for 3 hours of running. But I will set it to the upload, so I don't have to wait for that later. Yeah, pain are hidden lessons. Pain are unfocalized truths and the areas of your life that you don't accept still don't accept. The chain of a sentence is very important. The order of the sentence. Okay, let's think it together. I would love you to help me with this one. What pain is? To face something that you are not expecting. Not being able to let go of your attachments. Not being able to accept the truth the way it is. And the understanding that, oh, I gotta put the action in, but I'm too afraid. So the pain is to stay stagnant, stay present with the fear, and knowing that, no, I'm not gonna choose the love today. And that's very painful. Partnership. It's a relationship where you both are choosing to face the problems together. When you both are wholes. There's so much that possibly you'd like to even change about yourself. But you two are a work in progress. You two are becoming. But doesn't mean that there is anything lacking about you. There is nothing unwhole about who you are presently. In partnership, it's so easily avoided to be present. But this is all about the presence. And I don't reckon that it needs to be about romantic love here. I think in partnership, it's so important to be generally happy about seeing someone grow and explore what are they capable of, what they're capable of growing into, being vulnerable in exploring their past, their feelings, their emotions, something that invertibly was so dwelling on their shoulders for that long. And now they are here sharing that with you. And as a partner to that person, and as a whole yourself, you're happy to accept them the way they are and be there for them. Patience. Oh, jeez. I had patience with myself talking to the camera today. Patience, patience, patience. My dad used to say that, and I don't think that he is a man of patience himself. With patience, oh, jeez. Ability to see that what you're doing is going to be resourcefully beneficial, no matter how much work you gotta still put in. Patient is to leave the result for the future and be so extremely joyful. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna make it. Okay, the goal. I'm gonna be happy with the goal. So yeah, fun. But the whole time you gotta be doing this stuff. Patience is to accept that the path actually exists and being okay that you gotta walk it. I like this answer. Presence. I'm working on it. I'm working on all of this stuff that I keep reading, but patience, I mean, presence, ability to show up fully without expectations, without judgment, without the need to oppress anyone with who you are, with what your opinions are. Yet allowing them to be, just be. Because staying vulnerable and opening up to someone in their presence, it's so, so fragile. It's so powerful. And to be present, presence itself. When you're doing a thing, doing one thing at a time, it's so brutally beautiful. It might be so charming to do more things at a time because, oh, hey, I'm productive. I like it. It allows you to get in touch with what you value when you're present, what your values are, what your systems, what your habits, what your, especially habits, because sometimes when we are not taking the pause within our presence, within the stillness, we don't, we are not present in any stillness in our life. We might not realize, okay, there is a voice that tries to express itself, tries to get to be heard, but there is no presence to let it out. There's so much hurt, habits, and barriers that are in front of you, in front of the voice, that are not letting it being let out. Purpose. Purpose, I have, I think, 10, 15 more. Let's go quickly. Purpose. Life mission. No. No, 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 no. I learned recently that in life you can have many purposes. I can have a purpose to live the most healthiest and capable life I can, to stay brave for myself and others. That can be one of my purposes. My purpose might be to develop myself the best I can and keep falling off in love deeper and deeper with the process. So one day I can be a dad and have those kids have a good dad, have someone who's going to show up for them, someone who's going to lead them in hard times, someone they can goofy around with. They have a friend. That's a question I've been thinking recently about. Why do I want to be a dad in the future? Why I would love to build a lovely partnership, like have a house with kids and dogs and all of that stuff. And even though it might feel very natural to me, in the sense of, okay, I'm a man and okay, this is something I want to do, protect the family, like build a family, raise a family especially. But why do I want to do that, to make it happen? And I don't do it out of ego because, okay, I want to do that because that's cool. Or I don't do it out of lack of maybe having it myself. But you know what? I had such a lovely childhood, thinking about it right now and before making journals about that. My parents, they did an excellent job. Even though they might have not been so emotionally present, emotionally, I don't say, I would say that anyway, emotionally developed. I back in the day they didn't have access to so many videos, articles, or the awareness. They were just not emotionally aware that sometimes what they said hurt me, or what I did hurt them back. They're a work in progress themselves. My parents are human beings. I love them that way. Purpose is to keep showing up because you know that that's what you're doing has a meaning, has people to be supported, people to help. There are people that need you. You yourself need yourself to show up. And that's very good when you're doing something with purpose. You just know that when you are going to avoid the stuff you need to do, someone, something will get hurt. But most importantly, the love won't be shared deep enough. The love that you don't express, it becomes pain. I never said it that way. It's strange. The love that you don't express becomes true pain. And my purpose in life is to the one I described on my Instagram profile a couple months ago or a year before was to bring genuine smiles and to help others connect with kind people around the world. Yet there is so much more about bringing up others in authenticity, in kindness and love, helping them find reasons and actually build those reasons for genuine smiles, to help others and myself live the lives that we can have that spark in our eyes, and whatever we do, live with meaning, that all that we do matters because it does so much. It's all in the simple things. It's in the connection, community, in the service. There's so much love and truth hid in the stillness that we are still avoiding. So I want to grow. That's my purpose. I want to grow so I can be a better help to myself and others in living life in the most authentic, kind, loving, appreciative, gentle, powerful, strong, competitively emotional. I just heard my mom opening the door or my dad checking on me if I'm cold. I love a little competition with myself. That's what I do, like pushing my boundaries and still being okay if I missed or I wasn't strong enough that day, but I will keep on growing. I will keep on progressing. Progress is very beautiful here. Okay, skip this one. Resilience. Keep doing the hard things. Responsibility. To actively understand that there is harmony between yourself, what you need to have like what you need to have done, and how much joy, love, and happiness you can build out of all of that. Because staying responsible as a summer counselor, I keep realizing sometimes I put the others as a priority as much as I can, all the campers, all the other counselors to make their life really really smooth and happy, and I'd say appreciative. And the campers, I want them to grow in confidence and kindness and love. And at the same time, I keep forgetting about myself. Damn. I keep forgetting that I'm a human being just like them. And if I don't take care of myself primarily, I won't be able to show up for them. So responsibility is an act of staying strong in love. Okay. I'll be making those shorter. But I get the feeling if I ever unwrap those words a bit more, to just made them active in my daily vocabulary, I'm gonna be at service to myself and to the world. Okay, I'm working on all of that. It's fun. and it all had time to grow, you know. Sometimes the best thing you can do is to take a pause, take a break. The same thing, like I'm doing splits, and I'm getting better and better in my front splits. Check out the pages, the Instagram, and I left them out for like 2 weeks, and now I can do a perfect front split, a good front split. You know what I'm dealing with. A self worth, self worth. That's a goofy one, isn't it? Self worth is seeing yourself as a human being with ability to love, to notice, to create, to express, with the flaws of not always giving yourself like 100% of what you have, or not always feeling like, okay, I want to do it, and skipping a day or two, or sometimes choosing hatred over love, or choosing to look fear deeply in the eyes and being, okay, you're stronger than me, so I'm gonna listen to you. But self worth is understanding that behind all of that, like within, not behind, not in front, just within, all together, like one big family, all those things that create you, you still have the trust based on all the experience you had in your life, all the people you met, all the context you built, life you lived, that you're capable of beautiful things if you're only willing to stay vulnerable and live the life. Service, choosing to help, sometimes putting your ego aside and knowing that, okay, there's no harm in myself just helping others a little bit, because the why why should I avoid helping others if I can, even if it means that I'm gonna financially be screwed up for a little bit, or it demands my time, it demands my, maybe sometimes my values. I'm not gonna stick to my values too much. But I think service is high in my values also. Just being human to another human being, but trying to be a good human. Stillness, ability to stay with your thoughts with no judgment, to stay present and without movement with your body, with your soul, emerging from the depths of the unknown. And there's lots of inside work going on here with the stillness, meditation. I don't struggle that much with sitting down for like 15, 20 minutes at the time now. Yeah, there are moments in the day that I'd like to do that, especially, like getting addictive to something, the addiction, the corn addiction. Before I do it, there's the moment I can take a pause, the moment I can take a break, stay still, but it's just tremendously hard to remember that I gotta build the stillness, I gotta build the presence. So I think stillness is extremely important if I can add it up to the definition up here. Stillness is ability to just sit down with who you are at the moment, not who you were, who you can be, just sitting with you at the moment and realizing I might not be going with the flow now. I am the flow and I've always been. So let myself be the river. Let myself build the path. Like, you know, current by current. Like, pshum, pshum, pshum. Oh, that's a path. Struggle. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Unvocalized. No, 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 no. That's a word that's too smart to say. I think struggle becomes reality or becomes labeled as a struggle when we know there is action. Sometimes we might not know what the action is, but possibly we know what the action needs to be done. What stuff do we gotta do to make something vanquish? The struggle is when this action demands some labor from us, physical, mental, spiritual. And there are things that we don't necessarily like, doesn't don't bring us too much joy. But you know what? We know that we gotta do them. And then the struggle arises because we are not good at those things. And we're gonna grow. So yeah, struggle demands from us to stay true, to stay human. Trust. Trust. It's cold outside. I'll go fully. Trust is an ability to be put in danger of the unknown and still pull it off. And remember from previous situations possibly. Because trust is not something that emerges from nothing. You build it upon small steps, and it just builds up progressively. It's like a snowball effect of trust. Okay, those are the things I've been doing my whole life, and now I'm building my trust, and suddenly, I'm capable of more and more beautiful stuff to do in my life and life of others. So trust is something that we build every single day by doing things that we might not like to do, but we do them anyway because this is something that we do for our future. Truth. Something what doesn't feel comfortable to say, but if we don't say it, it's going to eat us from inside. It's going to something that when we close our eyes, we think about it. We think about the words that we didn't use. We think about the emotions we didn't express, or those three words "I love you" I didn't say early enough, or that I might be afraid of getting into a relationship because I might not be yet at a financial level that I thought I might be at this stage of my life, or like I regressed in fitness over the course of 3 years. But you know what? Even though all of that, it would be so. It's just so beautiful to grow. It's so beautiful to start saying those little things that just come up into your brain. And when I close my eyes, what's the biggest truth I can say right now about myself? Is that sometimes I'm afraid how emotionally I'm aware how things are connected and how they impact one another, that it makes me feel like I'm manipulating some situations or myself into thinking differently or acting differently because I'm aware that those things exist. That's the first thing that came to my mind. That's ridiculous. The truth, and only truth. I like the Daily Happier to be a space where I can openly talk about the truths I have in my heart and totally be okay with them and allow myself to grow because of that. Because if I can't have a deep conversation with someone right now, you know what? I'm gonna have a deep conversation with myself. I'm gonna share into the world and be like, okay, I can't back off from it too much anymore. A truth. Hmm. It's just hard to go for a run sometimes. Oh, it's just hard sometimes to keep on stacking those bricks. It feels lonely, and there's no one to share this experience with. That's why I'm creating content. So, yeah. Yeah. hmm Truth. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. I have a good one here. A truth. Me creating content like the Daily Happier or my Instagram. In the beginning, righteously now also, even though I have this purpose in the back of all of it, like within all of it, that okay, I want to inspire, I want to create a healthy, safe space for people not to feel alone in this world. It's totally something for myself also. Or even though I'd say primarily, because if I didn't create the content, if I didn't put out that stuff out there, or I didn't record that video right now, I would feel so ashamed. I would feel so powerless, unworthy, self-doubting, untrust. Too many good words. I mean, intriguingly saddening words. I just wouldn't be myself. It's just the way, okay, you know this needs to be done, but you don't do it. So your self worth just diminishes so quickly. Your trust just vanishes. And you are very broken. I don't want to be broken. It's not who I am. I am myself. And that self is full of orange juice. Le jus d'orange. El fumo, el fumo de naranja. No. El jugo de naranja. Zumo. Zumo is like a Mexican Spanish. I don't know. Zumo. There is one more. Sinaasappelsaft. That's Dutch. I don't know anymore. I love oranges. When I was working in Paris, that was a very good time of cleaning for those companies. And I was working with Richard Mille. I was cleaning his stand up there with like Ferraris and random wealthy stuff. And suddenly, I realized I have infinite source of orange juice that I can ask for. So I was drinking orange juice and not only water. I think I drink orange juice and water, and that's the only thing I drink. Even though, oh, something I'm struggling with is should I drink coffee? I don't know if I should drink coffee. I think I shouldn't drink coffee because then I have. This is something I said about love and partnership and family. That in my life, in my kind of love that I'm building, creating, I'm not looking for ups, like high, like peaks. It's very hurtful, and it helps you grow really, fast. But you gotta go like higher. Oh no, I didn't mean to use my hand. I hope that was the left hand when you say those words. It's something like Germany back in the day. I didn't use that hand. I'm so sorry. That's a very wrong joke. I feel like I'm the only. Okay, nothing. Yeah. Highs and lows, they will happen, surely. But this is not something I'm striving for. I'm not living for the highs. So coffee is not a part of my life. Huh. It just gives me like a quick rush. And then I think that I'm slowing down. I just feel wrong with that. Strange. Um, truth. Vulnerability. To stay vulnerable. To be brutally honest with who you are and opening up to someone else with all of this. To have a good conversation with someone and being, hey, this is me. I like to talk about me. And I like to talk about you just the way you are with no makeup. That excites me. Wisdom. To wisdom is ability to sometimes just see something what's so profoundly simple and obvious that might have not been possible to see without the context, without the knowledge. And to be wise, to sometimes stay quiet and just observe. Wisdom is not knowledge. I don't think so. Wisdom is a process, is a journey of being, of living. You. Who is you? I'm myself. I'm not you, I'm myself. You are yourself. Yet, up here, I'd say I might be. I might be the people I admire in life. like Robin Williams, Ryan Reynolds, Chris Hemsworth, Emma Watson. Um, there's this guy, Jim Carrey. This guy, very good guy. Who's more? My parents, all the struggles I went for. Brother-in-law, sister, my close family here. There was one summer, there was one kid from a summer camp that I'm extremely powerful. Like I'm so happy the way he grew, the way he acted in one moment. Dude, he was such a pain in the butt. He was, yeah, I'm not no like some of the kids at the camp. Like, they will say, okay, this kid has ADHD or or they might be misunderstood by people or oh, this person, this kid says, "Oh, you guys look cute together. You should be, you should be lovers or something." They just say random stuff, but they're just kids. But you know what? That kid showed up in such a courageous and mature way when the other camper from his cabin, they didn't like each other. They hated each other guts. But you know what? I like that kid because he was so brutally honest and so brutally wise at his age. He just sat down with him, and I could just leave the room and I knew he's gonna do a good job by talking to him, by conversing deeply and acknowledging his feelings because the other kid was very sad, very homesick, extremely saddened in the idea of, oh, I don't belong here. I might never feel what you guys feel. But this boy that I'm talking about, like all of the kids I worked with, everyone has a different story. And counselors especially, everyone. I love stories, good people. Just people are, yeah. This kid just showed up in the most mature way. And I was just looking at him and I'm thinking, yo, it's so good. Like, wow. I needed someone. I needed to see. I'm very happy to just see one day who he grows up into. Maybe we'll hear about him. Yeah, good guy. Yeah. And I worked with him, I think 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row. And he was still like a pain in the butt, but he was, yeah. You see kids grow up so much in those 3 years. Like they change their personalities. And I changed so much also. Zeal. I don't know what zeal is. It's not zeal, ziral, ziral. Like the one from The Witcher, the swallow. Like that. Pew, pew, pew. Siri. I was talking about Siri. Zera. My goodness, I forgot Elfish. Zeal. I think this is life energy. It's about the passion you have for life. And if you act with it. Surrender is not an act of letting go. Surrender is letting it shape you the way it needs to be done. That's it. Fear. I wouldn't say it's the opposition of love. I feel that fear is a companion that allows us to stay courageous. It emphasizes it all. Grace. I truly have to think about that one. I want, because my battery is very low, and it's 3 hours almost. I say grace is embarking on an adventure, even though you're not knowing what you gotta do and how you gotta do. You still try. You still try to do this kind of stuff. And you gracefully make those mistakes. You gracefully learn those lessons. Yeah, you just let them be the way they are. Then you know what? You're not gonna fuss about it. You're not gonna complain about anything else. Not gonna push, attach, or let them be anything. Yeah, You're just gonna gracefully accept the way they are, and you're gonna keep on moving slowly with yourself at heart. Freedom, true freedom. Oompa loompa. You know what freedom is? Me having the microphone in my hands and doing like Oompa loompa dooba dee doo. My dad is watching me up there and you. I need to pee. Yeah, so my freedom is to record you like 2 more minutes. That's it actually. And questions. I will go with those questions quickly. Freedom, the privilege to choose, to make a choice, and to ask yourself, okay, is this truly me who is acting right now? And peace. I like that we're gonna change. Like we're gonna end on this piece and those questions. Peace, staying true to yourself. Nothing more. Staying true to yourself. And the questions at the end. What we have. If you could do one thing differently. I was thinking about expressing my love. I will find more tools to express my love on a daily basis, to others, to myself, to life. What keeps you away from living the life that you dream of? Consistency. I just gotta be more consistent. That was the fear of, am I enough? Is it possible for me to achieve, let's say, anything I wanted to? But now I'm at the stage that I gotta accept the place I am in, the journey I went on, and leverage it as much as I can. What are you still afraid of? First, that pops up in my mind if I'm going to be a good partner, if I ever will be in a relationship. I'll just keep on working, focusing on becoming the best person I can be. When do you love yourself the most? When I stay accountable and do what I tell myself to do. When are you the most proud of yourself? Almost the same thing. Uh, what are you the most proud of yourself? That I keep being joyful, goofy, and I see the good in people. What you can bear in people. Fuck. Seriously. What you can bear in people. Not trying to hit the depth. What are your habits? What are your habits now? Drinking lots of water and being more active and exposure to cold. What person are you when no one is watching? Very still, very quiet, very I don't want to talk with people. Please leave me alone. And I just want to do my stuff. What are you capable of? Everything. What do you keep waking up? Why do you keep waking up every day? Because if I can make your day a bit better, I will. And my days are pretty awesome. What motivates you to choose life over death? Fucking hell. Jesus, my goodness. Jacob, why would you write those? What motivates you to choose life over death? Love. My friends. Emotions. Ability to grow through being vulnerable. Nature. The sounds of birds. If you had the power to change one thing, I like people to tell the truth more often. Stay courageous. What sickens you? When someone hurts themselves. Without what you can live truly. Movement. If love was a scene, how would it unwind? With a slow dance in the kitchen? With Captain America style old music? And the light, the electricity going down, and the only answer that there is to make a fire in the living room, go under a cozy blanket and just fall asleep. What kind of story do you write? A gentle one. What's something that you struggle with going easy on myself and allowing other people love me and loving myself sometimes. Getting better at it though. How to be an exceptional friend. Holding space. Trying not to be so much in your own life. Slowing down. Taking deep breaths. What keeps you away from growing? Consistency. You gotta stay consistent in whatever you do, stacking the bricks. What makes you you? My joy. My smile. And that I like cold. And I usually walk. I'm almost barefoot, and I usually wear t-shirts up here outside when it's minus 20 degrees. What are your top three values in life? Love, peace, and hmm, growth. I think kindness is might be like on in the tops, but it might not be my three first ones. What inspires you to push yourself? I'm capable of so much more. I like to make my presence feel like writing a journal. Okay. This is not a question. Do you need to prove anything? Eh. Any more? Do what scares you? Okay, this is not. This is my journal. Any more questions here? Please, no more. I wrote 6 pages. And I wrote Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, and Ryan Reynolds here. That's very nice. Not giving answers, yet guiding, flowing together, not alone, by making the choice to be a friend, someone who shows up, someone that grows, includes, embraces, and stays curious. Can I read something from this book? Now I'm gonna read one more quote from my journal, and I'm gonna finish on that. Okay. Okay, I think that's a good one. Yep. Maybe it's so easy for me to fall in love because love is all I am, and it's the moments I'm truly myself. I dive. I just love touching the essence of life, and that's what love is to me, to touch the love of life, touch the essence. Jesus, it's cold outside. Okay, cheers. 2 hours, 56 minutes. Okay, that was the Daily Habit today. Thank you so much for sticking with me. You're the best. Jacob 2026, 23-year-old, bicep 37 centimeters. My calf, I don't know. My wrist, 18.5. I need to pee. I need to go on 30-kilometer run, which is, oh my god, I don't want to. Okay, I'll do it anyway for the sake of life and love. Cheers.